How are you guys doing? So Kim here with Native Lady Book Warrior, and today I am going to be sharing with you my TBR for IndigAthon. So stick around, and I also have a really exciting announcement, and I will be sharing that at the end of the video. So let's get started. Okay, so before we get started, I would like to say a huge thank you to Brody to Brody and Michelle from Thor Wants Another Letter. They are the hosts of IndigAthon and they are doing such a fantastic job. All the engagement that I'm seeing on Booktube and Twitter and Instagram, Brody and Michelle took it upon themselves to amplify Indigenous voices through this really awesome readathon. They are working so hard. I can see it, and they are just awesome. So you guys, don't forget to take a break, but I'm loving everything that I'm seeing in social media, and it's just completely amazing. So good job, you guys. Nohong beta. If you guys don't know what IndigAthon is, so IndigAthon is a readathon that focuses on Indigenous authors and Indigenous voices. November is a perfect time for IndigAthon because November is Native American Heritage Month. As you can see, IndigAthon has 9 prompts this year. So here's the bingo board. So as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and in the middle of all that is a free space. I'm not going to be talking about these books in any particular order, except that I'm going to be introducing my own books that I purchased myself first, and then I'm going to be introducing books that have been gifted to me. So let's get started. Okay, the first book that I'm going to introduce, I just recently introduced this book also in a recent book haul, and this book came out in 2017. So the first book that I'm going to introduce to you is Home of the Living God by Louise Erdrich. This author is just amazing. I have not read her before, but she has tons of work out there. And I am so excited to get into this book. I am not going to explain what this book is about, but I decided to include this book in my IndigAthon TBR because I read Dani's post. And Dani is an Indigenous bookstagrammer and a booktuber. When I read her post of her book review for this book, I was like, I am definitely going to read that for IndigAthon. So I'm going to leave a link down below, and that will take you to Dani's post if you guys want to check that out. The only detail that I'm going to give you about this book is that this book is labeled as a dystopian, sci-fi-ish Indigenous fiction. I am going to be checking off that prompt for my free space. So here's my bingo board right here, and this book is going to fall under the free space for that. So also, I'm sorry. Louise Erdrich is an Indigenous author, and she is a citizen of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Natives. That Indigenous nation is Anishinaabe. Yep, book number 1 for IndigAthon. Okay, so the next book I'm going to introduce is going to fulfill that prompt of Outside the United States, and I am going to be reading Indian Horse by Richard Wagamese. Richard Wagamese is from the Wabaseemoong Independent Nations, and Richard Wagamese also has quite a bit of works out there, and this is the first time I'm also reading this author. I introduced this book during a book haul last month, and this book follows Saul Indian Horse. Saul Indian Horse is a survivor of the residential boarding school assimilation era. Okay, book number 3. This next book is going to fulfill that middle grade school prompt for IndigAthon, and I recently purchased this book last week, so I'm really excited to read it because I've been hearing so many great things about it. My book number 3 for IndigAthon is Alatsaway by Darcy Little Badger. Darcy Little Badger is a citizen of the Lipan Apache Nation in Texas. So also, I'm actually going to be reading this book with my family. This book is actually going to be fulfilling a buddy read and that middle grade school prompt. And I also heard that this book can also fulfill that intersectionality prompt, but I actually have another book for that prompt. But yeah, so this is book number 3. The next book I'm going to introduce to you all, I'm pretty sure you guys all know it already if you are participating in IndigAthon, because it is the group book. So this book, yeah, Heartbeat Braves by Pamela Sanderson. Pamela Sanderson is a citizen of the Karuk tribe, and she is an urban native living in the Pacific Northwest. So, a funny thing about this book, I didn't have to buy it. I want it. I want it. Yay! Brody from Etu Brody, they reached out to me on Twitter and they told me that I won the raffle. Oh, I was so happy because I never win anything. I don't even win bingo. So so it's crazy. I was so happy to receive this book. And this book is a contemporary Indigenous romance. I've never read an Indigenous romance before, so this is going to be exciting stuff. This is checking off that prompt for the group read. So I am excited to see if I'm going to like this, because this is book 1. I don't know how many more books are out, maybe 2 or 3. I got to look that up, but yeah, so this is book number 4 for IndigAthon. The 5th book that I'm going to be introducing to you for IndigAthon fulfills that new to you prompt. And I will be reading Winter Counts by David Heska Wombly Wyden. Very excited to read this book, but first let me tell you that I actually received this book from Chanelle, from chanelletime. She is such an awesome person. She reached out to me and she said that she wanted to give her book of the month, which is an Indigenous read, to an Indigenous reviewer. I was trying to get to this book during October, but I just ran out of time. So I'm very, very happy to read this during IndigAthon. I will also be buddy reading this book with Melitta from the Midnight Librarian, who is another awesome Indigenous booktuber and bookstagrammer. And I don't know when we're going to read this. I guess we'll just communicate when we can, but I'm excited to buddy read this with her. And this book, I really wanted to put this on my IndigAthon TBR because it follows some very important issues that I'm passionate about, like Indigenous criminal jurisdiction within the United States, substance abuse. So this book follows Virgil Wounded Horse, and he's sort of like a vigilante, and he is kind of trying to figure out where drugs are coming into his Indigenous community. That is all I'm going to share, because I kind of want to be surprised as well. I've only read a little bit of the sleeve in this book, and when I saw when justice is denied by the American legal system, that's when I was like, wow, I can't wait to read this book. Book, like I said, fulfills that new to you prompt for IndigAthon, and I'm also buddy reading this book, so I have double stamps on that bingo card all over the place. And also, Wyden is an author that is new to me. I have never read him before. And also, I believe that, hold on, let me see what, yeah, so David Heska Wombly Wyden is of the Sichanghu Lakota Nation. That is where he is from. So that also fulfills other than the 5 civilized tribe prompt. Wow, I'm just stamping that bingo card all over the place. So yep, this is my 5th book for IndigAthon. Okay, this next book is going to fulfill a book or Indigenous author outside the 5 civilized tribes. The 5 civilized tribes are Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek or Muskogee, and Seminole. So the next book I'm going to introduce to you is The Night Watchman by Louise Erdrich. I was actually gifted this book and the next 2 books. So the last 3 books were gifted to me by Neil Yazzie, who is an Indigenous Bookstagrammer. And I suggest you follow him. He always has really cool content and his pictures are just amazing. So he gifted me this book and it is a signed copy. Yep, it is very beautiful. And I also wanted to read this book because I saw Erin from Erin's library. She did a really awesome video on historical Indigenous fiction, and this was on the list as well. So this book, I introduced it before on one of my book hauls, but it's based on the extraordinary life of Louise Erdrich's grandfather, Patrick Gurnio, too. So I have actually 2 books by Louise Erdrich, and I also never read Louise Erdrich before. So, yep, this is book number 4? No, it's number 6. Sorry, my son's right there. The next book I'm going to introduce to you is book number 7, and that book fulfills the prompt of buddy read. Yeah, so I'm actually going to be buddy reading this book with a very cool, awesome friend of mine, an Indigenous friend, and also she is from my tribe. She is from the village of, well, we're not from the same villages and we don't have the same clans, but she's awesome. And I didn't I didn't get her permission to share her name on this video, but she's really amazing. And she said that, hey, I bought that book you introduced on your book haul. So I was like, hey, do you want to buddy read with me? And she's like, what's that? What do I have to do? So I'm so happy she is buddy reading this book with me. I actually have a tab. We've already started reading this, so I'm really excited to discuss this book with her because she is just awesome and she's smart, she's intelligent. So Toni Jensen is Métis. And this book is actually about gun violence in the United States. And I imagine, well, so far what I've been reading, it is really, really good. And I don't want to spoil anything right now because I don't know how much I should share. But Toni Jensen's writing is just amazing. It's beautiful. She takes a really complex subject and just makes it yeah, so she's awesome. So this is book number 7, Carrie by Toni Jensen. The last book, book number 8, that I'm going to share with you all fulfills that intersectionality IndigAthon prompt. This book was also gifted to me by Neil Yazzie, so thank you, Kunaa Neil. I very much appreciated this book, and this book just recently came out this year as well. And this book was written by Billy Ray Belcourt. And yep, I was gifted a history of My Brief Bod. I am so excited to read this because I already read the leaf, but I'm going to read it to you because it's so beautiful. Piece by piece, Belcourt's writings invite us to unpack and explore the big and broken world he inhabits every day, in all its complexity and contradiction, a legacy of colonial violence and the joy that flourishes in spite of it. First loves and first loves lost, sexual exploration and intimacy, the act of writing as a survival instinct and a way to grieve. What emerges is not only a profound meditation on memory, gender, anger, shame, and ecstasy, but also the outline of a way forward. With startling honesty and in a voice distinctly and assuredly his own, Belcourt situates his life experiences within a constellation of seminal queer texts, among which this book is sure to earn its place. So this book sounds fabulous, and thank you so much, Neil, for getting me this book. I very much appreciate it. Here's my bingo board, and the next prompt I'm going to fulfill is going to be the non-bookish media. I really had to think about this. I'm like, what can I read? What can I watch? So this next non-bookish media that I'm going to introduce to you is a movie called Once Were Warriors. This movie is directed by Lee Tamahori, and this movie is based upon a book by Alan Duff. The director and the writer of the book are from Maori descent. This movie came out in 1994 and it was based and shot in New Zealand. And it's based upon, like I said before, Alan Duff's novel that came out in 1990. I think. I gotta check up on that. This movie really revolves around an urban Maori family, and they have problems with alcoholism, substance abuse, domestic violence, intimate partner violence, also, I think, with poverty. And a lot of it centers around this family, but also the problems of the father in that family. Most of the cast in this movie are of Maori descent, so I am very excited to watch this movie. I remember my sisters watching it when we were younger, and I don't remember it since then. So that is what I'm going to be watching for my non-bookish media. Okay, so isn't this a beautiful stack of books? Oh, I love you. So yeah, this is my book stack that I'm going to be reading for IndigAthon and all throughout the month of November. For those of you who stuck around, I have a really exciting announcement. So, as you know, or if you've been following IndigAthon, Brody and Michelle are also doing giveaways for the entire month based on if you're participating in the Instagram challenges or the booktube challenges, like with the booktube tag and the vlog videos and all of that really awesome stuff that they have planned for IndigAthon. So one of the things that about being Hopi and Tewa in my community is the concept of Samit Nangwa. So Samit Nangwa is giving in a time of need for the benefit of all. So I reached out to Brody and to Michelle and stated, hey, you guys, I want to help you out. So I've been collecting slowly donations from my own community and other Indigenous artists as well. And I am collected a really cool small pile of stuff. Brody, they reached out to me and they said that the donations that I collect for this time is going to be given away for that vlog winner on booktube. So I am so excited. I'm probably going to do another video to show you what all those really awesome prizes are, and all of these prizes, people, have been donated by Indigenous artists and Indigenous businesses. I'm really excited to participate not only in the reading but also giving to IndigAthon. So thank you guys so much for staying and sticking around. I'm pretty sure this video is kind of long. I like to talk, but I'm excited to be participating in this month, and I really want to know what you guys are reading as well. Even if you're not participating in IndigAthon, I know there's Nonfiction November out there right now, and all of these really cool readathons going on for the month of November. So let me know what you're reading right now and what you're going to be reading next. So if you made it to the end of this video, I want to see an emoji. What emoji do I want to pick? Hey, Luke. Alrighty. This is Luke. He's been chilling out this whole time. Okay, we're going to pick an emoji, okay? Okay, which emoji should we tell them to send mommy? Which one?
Oh, the puppy.
Which one? Which one?
The
Which one do you want them to send mommy?
puppy.
Which one? This one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my son said that if you stayed around till the end of this video, he wants you to put in the comments a puppy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. I very much appreciate it. All of my new and my familiar subscribers, you guys are awesome. And even if you don't subscribe to my channel, I appreciate you watching this video. You guys are awesome. All right, we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, 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 hey,